welcome back to the Local Gayliens, where things get weird and they stay weird. I'm Brandon.
I'm Ashton, and we're a paranormal podcast that talks about everything spooky with a little kooky.
Yes! Anything particularly spooky happened to you this week?
Yes.
What?
If you don't like butt stuff, close your ears.
Oh my god! We're going straight into butt
I
stuff.
have been officially probed.
Oh my god.
Officially, professionally.
You know what?
Probed.
Get it, queen. I've been getting probed my whole life, so.
Well, I've been having some hot girl tummy issues.
Okay.
So I've been going to the butt doctor.
Oh, oh, it's not sexy.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
fun, and it was a surprise.
Oh
well,
no.
Kind of surprised, kind of not. So they're testing me to see if I have pelvic floor dysfunction. This is a PSA for all you girls out there who held your potties growing up. You might have pelvic floor dysfunction.
Oh, why would you hold it? Oh, to be hot.
No,
I don't
when
poop.
you're when you're 7 years old and you go to the bathroom with your friends, you're not gonna poop, especially when there's cracks in every stall where they can look in. No.
Oh, I didn't have that
Or
experience.
when you're in high school and you want to go to the bathroom and they're like, well, you can't have a hall pass because of this, and then you have to sit and fucking hold it.
Oh no. I was blowing it up.
Oh, well.
In high school especially, I'm like, you're not going to tell me.
I was ashamed of pooping, and I thought it was embarrassing, and I did not poop in public.
Oh, well, now look at you.
Now look at me. I literally carried dude wipes to the bathroom with me. Not look at me now.
Yeah, you're right. This is truly scary. This is truly terrifying.
Yeah. So basically, I had 2 appointments set up. One where they do this little test to see if you have it. So basically, they have to stick this little tube up your bum.
Yeah.
And it contracts and stuff. This little balloon on the end to basically test out
your muscle.
Yeah, your butthole muscles. And so I had 2 appointments scheduled. Well, I thought the appointment that we do that for I thought that was on the 17th.
Oh my god.
And I was supposed to do 2 enemas for it.
Holy shit.
And so I walk into this appointment and she's like, okay, you can undress, blah, 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 and we're going to do your test. And I was I looked at her and I was like, what?
Oh my god.
And she was like, yeah, we're doing your test today. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm here for.
You're like, wait a minute.
I thought we were just here to talk.
You're like, I haven't prepped for this.
Yeah. And I literally said to her, I was like, I didn't do the enemas. I just assumed I would get I don't know, something in the mail telling me what and how to do it. Some people do enemas. I've never done an enema.
Yeah, that's not your thing.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, that's my thing.
You're not going to prep me?
Yeah.
And so she was like, well, we can stick this camera up there and I can see if we can do it today and if you're cool with it. And I was like, well, I'm already here.
You're like, hold on. You're like, I guess I'm pretty chill about it, I guess.
Yeah, I literally was like, okay.
I never thought my first time was going to be at a doctor's office.
And then
but
I think she was just I don't think she was expecting me to be so talkative.
Yeah.
While she was sticking a camera up my butt.
Oh my god, you were talking the whole time.
I didn't know what else to do.
How embarrassing of you. How embarrassing of you.
She sticks it up and I was like,
well, that feels weird.
I was literally well, maybe it's a good thing I didn't have time to prep.
I'm stunned. You're just like, well, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I can't handle this. I can't handle this. I'm stunned. Oh my god.
I didn't know what else to do. And so I just was like, guess I'll talk.
I love that you're just having a conversation with her while she's trying to work back there, and you're just like, so how's your day? How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see did you see my lunch?
No, I was clear. That's why we were able to do it.
Oh, you were.
Because I'm not regular, which is part of the problem. And so she's like, when's the last time you pooped? And I was like, I don't know, 2 days ago.
Oh my god. She's like, yep.
Now that you all know my pooping schedule.
I'm dead. I love the doctor's like, yep, you're full of shit. Certified. Certified. Damn. I love you. I love you so much.
But now it's all over and done with. And then on the 17th, I get my results back, and then we find out if I actually have it.
Stay tuned for the results.
But yeah.
Oh my god. The scariest thing that happened to me this week, oh my god, was they changed the portal for where I live.
Oh, the online portal.
Yeah, so I was like,
hate
how
when
am I
that
supposed to
happens.
pay rent? Like, that was my...
That is scary.
It was.
Because they'll charge you if you don't pay
They
it,
will.
and it won't be their fault.
It will. I mean, I'm not going to get anything stuck on my butt for it, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a different brand of horror. A different, oh no, I can't pay my bills. And you're like, oh no.
I literally came home and I told Hannah, I was like, well, I can say I was officially probed now.
Yeah, you said, Hannah, guess what? Butt stuff. I was like, girl, don't tell me y'all ain't never did it. Why do I feel like I'm 12 right now? You guys haven't done it? You haven't done it yet? Oh my God.
I'm a 33-year-old virgin.
Yeah, I know that's a lie. I grew up with you. No, girl, I'm not one either. Like, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying, I know better.
Oh,
Okay?
gosh.
I've been probed plenty of times.
Yeah.
And not at doctor's offices. Sometimes, just wherever it happens to
You're prepped
happen.
for it.
Yeah. I'm classy.
This is officially
Oh,
a sex podcast.
I know, yes. We're actually changing. Well, I don't know. Some people might find this very spooky.
That's true. We'll just timestamp it. Like, if you don't want to hear us talk about buttholes for this long, skip ahead.
Skip ahead. No, I'm not doing that. You gotta listen to all of it. Every
and
bit.
we ain't shy. We'll talk about
shy.
anything and everything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But today, specifically, we're going to be talking about sleep paralysis.
Which is very spooky.
Yes. Yeah.
Very spooky.
Which is legit scary.
Yeah.
Like,
as someone who's experienced it and someone who has witnessed it, it's spooky.
it is probably the scariest thing I've ever been through.
It's something I never want to experience.
I would say that's, if you've heard about it and it's not happened to you, you're lucky. Because I will say it is not fun.
No.
It is not fun. A lot of things happen and we're going to get into it, but it's uncomfortable. I feel like this is going to be an intense episode.
Hopefully this doesn't trigger something for people listening and you have sleep paralysis.
Yeah. I don't think you will, but yeah. Sorry, this one's going to be intense.
Yeah. So people still don't really know a lot about sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But we do know that there's kind of 3 categories that sleep paralysis falls into of experiences people have had.
Okay.
So the first experience or category would be the intruder, which is when an evil presence is approaching or lurking around. So this type of hallucination alone can be tied to characteristics described as the Hat Man or Slender Man. So something lurking in your room that doesn't feel human, but doesn't necessarily do anything specific always.
Right. So that's the one, that's what I think maybe I experienced.
Actually,
I don't know.
Well, you've had a couple different experiences.
Yeah.
There's another one that I think also fits an experience you have.
Oh God, I can't wait to hear that one. But so if you haven't watched the reason why we decided to do a paranormal podcast, if you haven't watched episode 3, go back and watch it to find out what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because that has a lot to do with our experiences. And we'll probably touch on it in this episode, but yeah.
Yeah. So the second one is the incubus, which is basically a demon type entity. They're known for, like, assaulting people. They are known for, like, sitting on your chest, choking you. Just, like, a lot of, like, if you have sleep paralysis and feel a lot of pressure on your chest, this is kind of associated with that one.
Oof.
So, yeah, that's seen more as, like, demonic type presence who, like, actually wants to, like, physically
hurt you. Ew. Okay. Yeah. Ew. Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Which I feel like that's kind of a little similar.
To
we'll
what?
get into it more to, like, what you experience,
Yeah.
like, with the characteristics that go along with that.
Okay. Oof.
And then the third one is levitation, which, like, I guess people, like, literally say they've had sensations of, like, being lifted off the bed or even being, like, transported, which, you know, kind of is, like, similar to, like, alien abductions where, like, people are, like, aware
Oh my god.
but can't move and they're just being, like, you know,
moved, like lifted.
yeah.
Oh my god, do you think that maybe like
We don't talk about
Oh
it.
my
We don't
god.
talk about it.
Oh my god.
So it's not just a modern phenomenon. It's been happening for centuries.
Happening.
Har-
It's been
happening.
happening.
And there's, like, lots of cultures that have experience with sleep paralysis. So the first clinical description of sleep paralysis was published in 1664
Ooh.
in a Dutch physician's case histories where it referred to incubus or the nightmare. Do you know where the word nightmare came from?
Wait, so someone like experienced sleep paralysis and they were
So that was, like, the first published description of sleep paralysis.
Okay.
But it's, in this case, in 1664, it was compared to an incubus or a nightmare.
okay.
But
No.
do you, like, know where the word nightmare even came from? Like,
No.
we know nightmares today are, like, bad dreams, but there's actually, like, it came from somewhere and, like, means something very specific.
No, I have no idea.
So, the term nightmare itself finds its roots in the Old Norse mare, meaning crusher, referring to the Mara, which is a being with magical attributes that rides its victims for sheer malevolence. In subsequent centuries, the Mara is shapeshifted into the Old Hag myth, which kind of ties into the incubus theory. Today, the demon of sleep paralysis has morphed again, taking the form of alien abductions and playing upon our fear of the unknown universe around us. So, in the ever-evolving world, the nightmare has transformed from its original meaning. Today, it describes a frightening dream,
Yeah.
but in days gone by, it was exclusively linked to sleep paralysis and was associated with demonic forces.
Ew. Oh my god. Like
So if someone, like, back then said they had a nightmare, they probably experienced sleep paralysis and, like, had an experience with a demonic entity
Ooh.
during the night.
See, now that makes me even, like, that makes me way more uncomfortable. Just because I'm like, well, because of my experience.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, I feel like that puts more of the clarification in there for me that, like, it was a demon.
Yeah.
And that, I'm sorry, I'm not chill with that. I'm not cool with this. Leave me alone. No, thank you.
Yeah, because,
I'm
like,
good.
when you would describe, like, her stringy hair, and I was, like, researching this, I was like, the Old Hag.
Are we going to talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
A little bit. Like, not super detailed.
Okay.
So, the earliest reference to these, like, sleep demons
Yeah.
was in 2400 BC. So, the story is that Lilith, or also called the she-demon,
Yeah.
who bore children from her nocturnal unions with men, was also thought to be Adam's first wife, who rather than obey became a demon that preyed on women during childbirth. And in modern Middle Eastern maternity wards, they still believe this, and some of the women still wear amulets for protection. Yeah.
Now,
So Lilith might have technically been, like, the first sleep demon.
so I've heard of Lilith.
Yeah.
I always thought she was like, I knew she was like one of the higher demons in like hell or something like that. Like she was basically like Satan's mistress or whatever, like
Yes.
the female version of the devil, basically. And so, ugh.
I mean, maybe Lilith was the snake that told Eve to eat the
apple.
Ew. Which, like, pop off.
Hi, you guys. Well, so we recorded an entire episode, right? Like, we've got all the sound and everything like that. But for some reason, when we started talking about demons, the camera cut off. Yeah. We filmed the whole episode.
Yeah.
You are going to be able to listen to the entire sound right here, right now. We're going to put up a little, like, funny image that'll just be there while you listen to the sound. But
yeah, maybe a sleep demon.
What?
An image of a sleep demon.
Oh, like an image?
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. So yeah, we're going to put something like that on the screen, and you can listen to the video, but unfortunately we don't have the second half of this video.
You're just gonna have to listen to us.
Yeah.
Not see our beautiful faces.
Unfortunately. Oh, I know you're gonna miss it.
Our facial reactions.
I know.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah. I still can't believe it didn't record. We've recorded the 18 minutes. Yeah. We got about 18 minutes of recording, and then it just stopped recording. So, spooky.
Something was like, I don't want to see this no more.
Yeah, someone said, stop talking shit. Stop
giving away our secrets.
Yeah, stop exposing us. But, yeah, so keep listening, and I guess you'll hear why we got cut off.
Yeah.
We talk too much shit.
Yeah. Shit talkers.
Well, enjoy, you guys. Sorry.
Pop off, Eve. Eat that apple.
No, that literally made it so we die. Like, we were supposed to spend eternity as just beings, and now we experience free will and mortality.
Well, yeah, but maybe we get to reincarnate and, like,
That's
go to
true.
different planets.
That's true. We don't know.
Maybe it's not a bad thing.
We don't know. You're right.
And also, like, a man from a book told us that. So
that is okay. That's fair. That is fair. I'm gonna give it to you.
Believe what you want to believe, guys.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
So, in the late 18th century, the Swiss artist Henry Fuseli captured the essence of sleep paralysis in his famous painting, The Nightmare. Have you seen this?
I have not seen it. Do you have a picture?
Yes. So, I had a lot of art
so
history classes in high school and college, which is why I know this painting. And then we'll have this on Instagram too. But it's literally an image of a woman passed out with the demon sitting on her chest.
I have seen this painting.
So the painting is called Nightmare, which references the original meaning of nightmare.
So I see this painting in a lot of vampire movies, believe it or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's in Twilight.
Yeah. Literally in Twilight.
Yeah.
Is Twilight a vampire movie? Twilight's like teenage vampire porn.
It's a heartthrob.
It really is.
Movie.
It's not. Let's be real. You want a real vampire movie? Go and watch
Vampire Diaries.
No, ew. Go watch An Interview with a Vampire. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Wild movie.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst played a little child vampire.
The movie that just came out this past year, the like ballerina.
Oh, Abigail.
Abigail.
So wild.
That was wild.
Wild.
Yeah. That's a real vampire right there.
There's some really good vampire movies out there.
Yeah.
Twilight, I would not classify.
It's just a classic.
It is. Are you Team Jacob or Edward?
Edward.
No way. Team Jacob, bitch. I don't even care. Oh yeah, you
I like
turn
that.
into a little
I like
wolf.
that sparkly skin.
Yeah, I'm like,
and those awkward eye glances that looks like you smelled something bad.
Oh, where he's like, did she shit her pants?
Yeah.
I love her.
Have you seen those like lip
Yes.
talking videos?
Yes.
Oh, those are great.
See, the thing about like Jacob though, he's like always ready for doggy style.
Oh my god.
Shame on me. shame. Shame.
I hope he listens to this someday.
Oh, shit. Taylor Lautner, if you're listening, I stand by. I stand by
what I said.
I stand on business, bitch. I stand on business.
Did you hear that they're like making like a sequel and he's in it? But I don't think. But now he's like playing. I heard his character is gonna be playing a werewolf hunter.
Oh, let it go.
I'm just very confused
Let it
by
go.
that. Okay, but anyway.
Oh, back to, I guess, yeah. Back to scary.
So in Newfoundland, they reference the Old Hag.
Wait, say that again?
Newfoundland.
There you go.
Isn't that what I said?
No.
What did I say?
You said something very similar.
Newfoundland.
You said something similar, but it was wrong. I love you.
My redneck came out.
Back in Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Oh, man. Okay.
Okay. So the Old Hag is also a well-known thing in Newfoundland, and they actually like talk about it there, like the locals do. They'll say things like, "I was hagged last night."
No.
So instead of being like, "I had sleep paralysis last night," they're like, "I was hagged."
No, pause.
I got hagged.
If you ever come into this studio, in our space, in this...
Well, it kind of sounds like it's like getting shagged by a demon. You got hagged.
Yeah, if you come up in our space, this holy space, and you look me in my freaking eyes and you say, "Brandon, last night, I got hagged. We're going to have a conversation.
And you're going to be like, "Tell me everything."
I will say, "Tell me everything," but I'm also going to be like, "We're not calling it that." We are not. No.
You could have said that after you saw your little sleep demon that night. You could have been, the next day, you could have been like, "I got hagged." I mean, you still could say that. You've been hagged.
I don't want to be hagged. I don't like that.
And then St. Lucia references this sleep demon as Kokma. The creature has a very much traditional description of the succubus.
Ugh.
It is the spirit of a dead, unbaptized baby, which attacks people in their beds and cuts off their respiration by jumping on their chest and grabbing their throats. So even though, like, each demon in, like, a different part of the world, like, has a different name, has a little bit of difference, they all still cut off people's, like, respiratory by laying on their chest, whether it's Lilith, an old hag, or an unbaptized baby.
And it's during sleep paralysis.
Yes.
See, that's so weird because mine didn't cut off air.
Yeah.
Like, I was still, like, no pressure, nothing for me.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, each of these situations, like, everyone has similar experiences, but also different experiences.
Yeah.
Like, some people will feel pressure on their chest but not necessarily see anything. Ooh. Or, like, you saw something but didn't feel pressure on your chest.
Yeah.
And then people who see things, like, comes in different forms, like the Old Hag or, like, the Hat Man or, you know. Which is why I feel like, how can science actually ever explain it? You know?
I don't think it can. I think this would be... I mean, this is why it's called supernatural. Like, it's not... Yeah.
We'll never understand.
Yeah.
Until we die. Maybe. And then maybe we still won't understand.
Dun, dun, dun.
But one of the most recent unexplained mass accounts of this sleep paralysis demon happened in 1975. Ooh. And it was known as the sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome.
Oh my God, I've heard about this. Oh my God. Can I interject something?
Yeah.
I think you're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to interject. This is where they got the story for Freddy Krueger.
Is it really?
Yes. This is where Nightmare on Elm Street came from.
I didn't know that.
People were dying in their sleep.
Yeah.
And then this is how they created Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, shit.
That's where they got the idea. That's where Freddy Krueger.
I had no idea.
That's where Freddy Krueger came from.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just a little knowledge.
Okay.
I'm a horror movie slut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, on December 2nd, 1975, in Venetian, Laos, I think
Yeah.
is how you pronounce it,
Laos,
was
yeah.
in the wake of the Vietnam War. And the Hmong people, which were a group of indigenous Laotians,
Laotian. I think it's Laotians. I think
Laotians,
it's Laotians.
they were forced to flee the country as the Communist Party seized political control and thousands of them immigrated to the U.S.
Mm.
So the Hmong people believed that there were night spirits that were dangerous, but as long as you did your like rituals and prayers and ceremonies, it was all under control. They couldn't hurt you.
Oof.
But when these people were brought to the U.S., they were working really odd hours. Their rituals kind of like became like not as of much importance, so they weren't like doing them as much anymore, or they would be doing them at times that they shouldn't have been doing them. So then there was like a lot of like superstition going around, and like to these people, like the deaths that would occur from this were like very much real.
It was like, but like, so the thing I've always heard with sleep paralysis, it comes from like immense stress, like the body being so tired from stress and the mind staying awake because of the stress.
Yeah.
So what happens is basically your body falls asleep, but your mind is still awake.
Yeah.
So you are able to still like see and process and things like that, but it comes from immense stress.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. They've
Why
come
like
here,
a mass amount of people are experiencing this at the same time.
their whole lives changed. They came here,
Yeah.
they're working more, they're under time constraints, like
they're probably not like eating their normal diets they're used
exactly
to, and
very stressed out.
yeah. And then more than 100 people who were previously healthy died under this baffling syndrome. So, and there was also like no underlying cause that was ever found, which also like added to the superstition.
Oof.
Only that subsequent studies revealed a high rate of sleep paralysis and belief in nightmare spirits among members of the community. So like that's one thing that all these people had in common was there were accounts of them experiencing sleep paralysis. And then also the superstition that they had with their culture. What? What?
Oh my god, I just turned pale.
What?
Your purse like rope just literally fell.
Like, what do you mean fell?
Like it went from being up to just like down as soon as you finished that sentence. Oh my god. Ew, I'm freaking out. Okay, we're good. We're good. But so I will say it's strange the amount of people. I will say like what that is a little
and the
wild.
fact that all of them were experiencing sleep.
Right.
So it wasn't just like, oh, 100 people died from this unexplainable thing and like 50 people, you know what I mean? Like they were all having the same type of experiences. And I mean, I don't know enough about like to know if people can actually die in the middle of sleep paralysis.
I think maybe like,
but I mean, definitely the fact that like if these people felt like their air restriction was getting cut off,
or maybe they saw something so scary it was like a heart attack.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, can we get the like reports of like the autopsies? Like, was it a stroke? Was it a heart attack?
Well, that's the thing is like they said, what did I just say? That they were previously healthy before they died. And there was like no underlying cause that was ever found.
Ew. That's scary.
So it wasn't like, oh, they all died from a heart attack from this new diet that they were on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
they couldn't prove why they died.
Yes.
But
like they all had this like common denominator of like a paranormal experience.
See, now that messes with my head a lot.
Yeah.
Ew, was I supposed to die?
I don't think so.
You don't think
Hannah
so?
has sleep paralysis all the time.
Yeah, but like the version I had.
I mean, I hope not.
Like, was that like, ew.
And that's why it said welcome home.
Yeah.
But you were like, no.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan.
I mean, basically. I mean, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
But like, I just think that's wild to me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've had sleep paralysis multiple times. I've never thought I was dying.
Yeah.
but like 100, like they died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, ugh. That
Yeah.
gets my brain.
Yeah.
I'm on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. They would describe nightmares, visions, terrible pressure on their bodies. Some of the people talked about shadow entities that were killing and punishing them for not doing. So basically, they thought it was because they weren't doing their rituals correctly.
Okay.
So whatever the reason was that they were dying, whatever the reason was they were having sleep paralysis, the Hmong belief was that this is happening to us because we're not doing our rituals.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
but now that we've had a little history lesson, we're going to dive into the entities that show up and the experiences that come along with those entities.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 3 different theories of what entity is presenting itself based off of people's experiences. So it's kind of like out of all the experiences that have happened, they've created kind of like 3 different categories that it can fall into. So the first one is the demonic theory, which people claim to see red glowing eyes. They have a fear that's deeper than there's just something in my room, like fearing for their life.
Yeah, like, yeah.
The experience can take many forms. It can seem like a demon. It could seem like the hag. But basically, whatever form it takes, it is there to cause harm and scare you.
Did they ever describe what the hag looked like?
I mean, people have like drawn pictures and stuff like online, and pretty much just like a really old, creepy looking lady, like, you know, like gross hair.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, what's that movie called? Did you ever watch The Visit?
No.
It was like about the 2 grandparents
Oh,
that had
yes. Yes,
is
I
it
did.
like sundown syndrome or whatever?
Sundowners.
Like when she's like at the very end of the movie, kind of like having her episode, and you know her hair's all like, that's what I would imagine.
Okay.
The old hag would be.
Okay.
The presence is described as a negative shadow figure of an old woman who enters the room and sits on their chest, or on their bed.
Ugh.
The victim usually wakes up with a feeling of terror, difficulty breathing, and obviously paralysis. And then basically the person's just forced to lay there, not able to move until you're released from her grip. Or its grip.
Oh my God.
Okay, apparently the sleep paralysis demon or a night hag will go as far as assault.
Yeah.
Which some victims have actually like claimed of that happening. Which I don't know if you've heard of like incubus stories.
Yeah, basically they come in, they take advantage of you,
Yeah.
and then leave. It's it was talked a lot about during the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
It was brought up a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, basically claims of like that also happening.
Oh.
So the next theory is
Ooh.
the Hat Man theory.
Personally,
there are shadow people witnesses often described the entities they encounter as appearing vaguely humanoid with no discernible features, but in some accounts they take a mysteriously recognizable form. The Hat Man appears just like any other shadow being. There's no definition to him. You can't see a nose, a chin, eyes, really.
Yep.
But like, you know, there's a face there.
Mm-hmm.
You basically just see the outline of him. The Hat Man strikes fear onto the person lying in bed and feeds off of their fear.
Is that so? I'm gonna interject here. I'm gonna mix my own stuff in there too. See, I never was afraid. I never felt fear. Maybe that's why he came so many times.
He was trying to.
And that sounded dirty. Let me reword that. Maybe that's why he appeared so many times. He was trying to scare me. Because I saw him, like I described, like every day, every night for like almost a year.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot. But I never felt like scared. I just felt maybe uncomfortable. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Kind of deal. But I was never like, oh, he's going to hurt me.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I saw him so much, was because he was like, why aren't you scared, bitch? You know?
Yeah. Were you like experiencing sleep paralysis during those times?
No, I was able to move.
Oh.
I was able to sit up. I was able to.
Or maybe that just like wasn't his intention with you.
I don't
There's
like that.
another reason he was there.
I don't like that. Oh, man.
Yeah, it says that he can blend into a shadow, but also step out of the shadow and look very solid. So it's very much like you don't know if he's just like a part of the shadow, if he's his own thing, but he can appear both ways.
Yeah.
Kind of slinky.
Yeah, like...
He's a little slinker.
Ugh.
And then the third theory is the alien theory.
Okay.
So during sleep paralysis experiences, some report electricity buzzing, a pulsating feeling, and seeing flashes of light. This is also accompanied by a shadow humanoid being. Could the aliens be using like a cloaking device to hide themselves? Using some kind of technology? So like, could the Hat Man and alien actually be the same thing? They're just like picking how they want to present themselves. I don't know, or controlling your mind in a certain way.
Right, like maybe to the aliens that is like a way for them to humanize them.
Yes.
But they don't quite have it right.
Yes.
Like they can't necessarily take on the form of like a real person.
Yeah.
That they're trying, and this is just what they've established. And since so many people have seen it, they're kind of like, we might as well just stick with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Like that's also creepy.
And there's just like a lot of connections to people who have experienced paralysis and have stories of like being abducted by aliens, like firsthand accounts of being abducted by aliens.
Ugh.
Basically they say like the entity takes control over you and is projecting some energy that like makes you lose control of your mind, which like technically could also contribute to paralysis.
Yeah.
Because if they're controlling your mind, maybe they're not like, oh, I'm making you stay still. It's just you don't have enough control over your own mind to move your body.
That's
Maybe.
fair. But also, like, so I've never had, obviously, I've never had any alien experiences like that. I remember everything.
Yeah.
From the sleep paralysis. I don't forget. And I always kind of felt like if an alien did it, like they try to wipe they don't want you to remember. You know
There's
what I
some
mean?
people that do remember that.
I know, and that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So
because I mean, if aliens are intentionally trying to wipe memories, and some people still do remember, I mean, who's to say that like people who experienced sleep paralysis and remember it they were just unsuccessful at wiping their memory?
I have a story for you.
Or wiping like a part of it, like
Yeah.
you remember waking up and being scared.
Yeah.
But you might not remember anything after that.
Yeah.
And all you know is you fell back to sleep.
Ew, I hate this.
It's come full circle.
Ew,
Aliens are
gross.
behind it all.
Gross, gross. I don't like it.
We have like one more little theory, which this is a little more like scientific.
Okay.
And it's about the quantum theory.
Okay.
So it's something that could explain experiences that people are having during sleep paralysis. So basically, like we all kind of live in like a 3-dimensional universe, but there's obviously like more out there that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So quantum physics or quantum theory suggests that there's an existence of higher dimensions beyond our own. So I guess technically that could also tie into aliens, or it could just be, I don't like even like us ourselves in a different dimension.
A different dimension.
So like the way they explained it is like we're kind of like fish in a pond. So we're like in our little aquarium, 3-dimensional world, like that's what exists to us. We don't know what's above us outside of the water or what's below us.
Okay.
But there are thought to be an existence of 11 additional dimensions.
Ooh.
Which each of them could potentially harbor their own like unique life forms and phenomena.
But like versions of you.
Not necessarily.
No.
Because like I don't
like you don't exist in all 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we don't know enough about the dimensions to know if they're just like a different form of us or if they're actually like kind of almost like a different planet.
Yeah, so I heard the same theory when it came to spirits. And I've also seen movies based on this type of theory where it was like I think it's called Others or something like that, where they're like dead and they don't know it, but they're interacting with people they think are ghosts, but they're actually the ghosts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that was like kind of two different universes or worlds. Like there was like a split there, and they like crossed over a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've heard a theory that a lot of hauntings are just that
well, that's
like
kind of similar to what a oh my gosh, what's it called? A residual haunting is.
yeah.
It's just basically like a form of energy that was left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of like a split in time where you're experiencing that.
Yeah. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And I know like there are some people too that kind of believe that Bigfoot is from another dimension.
Really?
And I mean, we can go into more detail because I'll probably do a whole episode on Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, yeah.
But basically, like, there have been accounts of Bigfoot, and for the amount of accounts, personal accounts there have been of like experiencing him and seeing him, hearing him, why don't we like see him all the time?
Yeah, why aren't we able to just find him?
Yeah, so that's why like he's really popular in like mountainous areas because it's like a whole thing where like certain places on Earth where like the energy field is different.
Portals.
Yeah, and they basically think like maybe Bigfoot is like coming and going through this portal.
These openings.
Yeah, into another dimension.
That's wild.
Yeah. We'll do a whole episode on I think it's Black Mountain where like they're pretty sure there's a portal there and people have literally just like disappeared off the face of the earth.
I camped there.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah, the Black Hills. Is that
Maybe,
what you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, the Black Hills.
Yeah.
I've camped in the Black Hills.
And you're still here.
I know, and I wasn't by myself.
Oh shit. Is that when you went on your whole like camping trip?
Yeah, I camped by myself in the Black Hills. I didn't know that story, or guess
That's
what?
brave.
I
You
wouldn't have
wouldn't
been
have done
camping
it.
in the Black Hills. I would not. I would have been like, peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I will
Well, let's
never.
go back.
No,
We'll
I'm
be
good.
together.
I'm okay. It was a great campsite. Horse Thief Lake. Oh, love you.
Yeah.
I'd go again. I would.
Yeah.
If I had you with me. Because I
Okay.
just push your ass out the tent. I'd be like, take her. She wants it. I'd be like, this is her dream.
Oh my god.
I'd be abduct her ass. She will love that too much. Just bring her back, but like you can borrow her for a second. She'll love it.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd come back with so many stories.
Right?
I'd be like, please, I need stories for the podcast.
I'd be like, she wants to remember those, so don't wipe her memory. You know,
and they'd be like, bitch, you're not telling everyone about us.
No.
Are you serious?
They'd be like, you'd come back, and you're like, what happened? I'm like, damn it. I thought you.
There's shout out to Girls One Ghost.
Oh my god, that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
There's an episode, a listener tales that they do where someone wrote in her, I forget exactly where they were camping. I want to say it was somewhere in Kentucky. Her boyfriend and some of his friends were camping in Kentucky and they were like sleeping in hammocks and stuff. And
Don't do that.
the next day, they got in the car going home and he looks at his phone and he has a voice recording that he has no memory of taking. And they listen to it and you can literally hear like little talking in it. And they're pretty sure they got like fucking abducted by aliens that night. They had no memory, had no idea the phone was recording. And the girl actually like plays, like sent in the sound recording and they like, you can listen to it.
I'm from Kentucky. I've got some stories.
What are some of the camping places in Kentucky? Is there like
Red River Gorge?
That's where it was.
I know.
I was like, I know if you
I
say
knew
it, I'll
it
know.
was. I knew that's where it was going to be.
Yeah.
Red River Gorge, we will have an episode about it. Red River Gorge has a lot of...
that's where they were camping when that happened.
I mean, there are rumors. There are stories. There are rumors of, sacrificing, rituals in the woods,
no.
all kinds of stuff in the Red River Gorge. Not to say it's not... I don't want to freak anybody
beautiful.
out. I love Red River Gorge.
Beautiful.
I go every time I'm in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful. I do not go to Red River Gorge at night. You do not walk around Red River Gorge alone. For more than one reason.
But would you go at night?
If
I was with you?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I would maybe consider staying at the campground
Okay.
where I know there's going to be a ton of people.
Okay.
But that's the thing. If you camp in Red River Gorge, you need to camp at the campgrounds.
Yeah.
Do not walk off into the woods and camp separate from that because it's dangerous. Like it's especially walking through the woods, not on a path. There are a lot of random drops. There's just a lot of unstable forestry, and that's not smart in itself, not to mention all of the paranormal stuff. So yeah, I've got some stories for you with that.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's creepy. My mom's got some stories too.
Oh my gosh. Can she be a guest?
Yeah,
tell us her stories.
I would love to. I would love her to. There's Red River Gorge, beautiful, love it, obsessed. Not at night. No, thank you.
But that's basically the theories. Now we have some treatments.
Okay.
For sleep paralysis.
Treatments.
So early treatments for sleep paralysis were pretty much as terrifying as the condition itself.
Great.
They did bloodletting, restrictive diets, and scarification of the throat. Because that's gonna help you breathe.
Yeah. Now explain that.
Yeah.
Like
the focus of the treatments were a lot around like the head, which they considered the root of the problem.
Correct.
So mental health, but not mental health. Physically, your head is the problem.
I mean, first of all, my head is never the problem. Okay? No complaints. JK, I'm just kidding. But it makes a lot of sense because the times I experienced sleep paralysis, I was under a lot of stress. Mm-hmm. So actually, when I get really, really stressed now, I get anxious. And I try to calm myself to get me out of the stress state, especially before I go to bed. Because I recognize that's when that type of thing happens. I don't want it.
It's like you're stressed, and then you're like, now I'm more stressed because I'm thinking about having sleep paralysis.
Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. That's why I just don't think about it. When I start to like think about it even, I'll get myself off of it.
Well, the story that I have at the end of this for you was like similar to like that's why I think it happened.
Okay.
So in the Christian era, sleep paralysis was akin to demonic possession, which obviously I feel like that's a lot of what it surrounds.
I feel like it always goes back to that.
Everything's always about demons. Like, can you like let someone else have the spotlight for once? Fucking demons.
Give a poltergeist the spotlight for a second. Give a witch the spotlight.
Literally, like, why is it always got to be about you, demons?
Yeah, like chill, bro. You do enough.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
Jesus.
Listen, I love God. God loves me.
So as yes, in the Christian area, those afflicted were treated with prayers and exorcisms, basically.
That makes sense.
That checks out.
I feel like we did a lot of that for a lot of supernatural stuff.
It's like, just give them an exorcism.
Yeah, they're like, okay. That's why they don't really do it anymore, I don't think, very often.
Well, now they have a whole process. Like, now they actually, like, take mental health into consideration and make sure you don't have something going on with your mental health before they move forward with that.
Yeah.
But,
because it can be dangerous.
Yeah. As the age of enlightenment took hold, medical care moved towards more of, like, the modern understandings, which changed the treatment of sleep paralysis. So, I mean, we don't really, like, have a technical, like, treatment. Like, you can't go to the hospital and be like, I'm having sleep paralysis. They might give you some sleep medicine. But that's about it.
Oh, see, can I...
But, well, there are ways of avoiding falling prey to sleep paralysis.
Okay.
So, step 1, don't miss your bedtime. Sleep paralysis happens when your brain wakes up during REM sleep, but your body doesn't. There is a disconnect between your mind and body, and a good sleep routine will lower your risk.
Damn. I feel like a target.
Step 2, don't sleep on your back. Sleeping on your back is more likely to cause snoring and difficulty breathing, which can abruptly wake you up while you're dreaming, making you more vulnerable to sleep paralysis.
I sleep on my side now. Come to think of it, the night I had my experience, I fell asleep on my back.
Yeah. Every time Hannah's had it, she's been on her back. Yeah. I mean, me, I'll be on my side, I'll be on my back, I'll be on my tummy. It kind of just depends on where the cats are.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not me.
And then step 3 is if you are experiencing sleep paralysis, to just let it happen.
Yeah. Now, see, I have heard that one.
Yeah. It says, tell yourself it's common, it'll pass.
You know what I've done?
Try to focus on happy thoughts.
after the first time I ever experienced sleep paralysis, anytime it's happened to me since, which has only been like a handful of times. It's not been, I've not had it chronically, thank God, because there are people, there's a whole documentary on it about chronic sleep paralysis. I could not imagine.
Ugh, that'd be so annoying.
Every time it has happened to me, after the first one, I tell myself in my head, I repeat it like a ton. It's not real. 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 And that's literally what I'm screaming in my head. It's not real. It's not real. So yeah, and that works. It does work.
Yeah.
If you convince your brain enough, like I think that's why I've only seen that thing one time, is because I refuse to allow it to happen, I guess. Instead of just like,
well, and then that also makes me wonder. So a lot of these like sleep demons or whatever are like there to inflict fear.
yeah.
And so maybe they're still there. Like it's actually a real thing happening, but if you're able to trick your brain into not being fearful,
Yeah.
they have nothing to feed off of.
And that's the thing, like, you gotta fight back.
Yeah.
You can't, like, obviously you can't move or anything, so you've got to do the best next thing, which is to tell your brain, like, this isn't happening. I'm not gonna allow this to happen. Like, you've got to, like, shut yourself down, basically, before you spiral.
Yeah.
And that's not easy, because it obviously hasn't worked for me every time. It's not easy, but, like, you have to try. Otherwise, you're going to lay there and you just let it happen. That's all cool until what is happening is too much for you to handle. And I think that's like,
yeah.
I mean, those people, like the 100 people that died, they knew nothing about it. So of course they just were like,
well, and not just that, but like they actually freaking died.
yeah.
Like,
but because maybe that was because of lack of knowledge. They thought it was real and they just sent them into like a,
maybe,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure technically they probably just died from respiratory failure at that point. That's like the thing that gets me is it's not just like, oh, I woke up and I'm seeing this figure. It's like you physically cannot move no matter how hard you try. And it's like, okay, if you're like lacking oxygen because you're laying on your back or something, but then you wake up paralyzed, how are you supposed to like roll over on your side or something so you can therefore start breathing again?
You can't. You gotta hope you trick your body awake.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. I was literally like, the whole story, you can go watch it.
Yeah.
I was literally like, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. I was like, you can move, you can move. I like willed my body to turn on the light, and that was what. With that one specifically, I could not.
She was too creepy.
I don't even know. I can't even give it a sex because I
mean,
don't.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm being sexist right now. I'm just thinking.
No,
the long,
you're
stringy
fine.
hair.
But like, yeah.
But
I want to try to Google. I don't though, but I do. I've never Googled.
I'll
to
Google
see
it for you.
I've never Googled to see if it existed.
I'll Google it.
Yeah, I've never. If
Wanna
anyone else
Google
has
it
seen
right now?
No, I can't. I don't think
I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. Anyway.
Oh yes. No Wi-Fi. Oh no.
Darn it.
We can't look up my trauma. Oh man.
But okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all about Hannah can come on sometime and like talk about her personal experience with sleep paralysis. I can only speak of it from
Your
a viewer's
perspective.
point.
Yeah.
Because never in my life have I witnessed sleep paralysis until this moment. And I don't know if it'd be more terrifying to experience it or what I witnessed.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And it was kind of like the night before. It wasn't Thanksgiving, but we had like celebrated our family Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And there's a few people in my family that have had like really crazy paranormal experiences. And of course, like me being the degenerate that's all I ever want to talk about every time we get together. So of course I'm like making everyone talk about their ghost stories.
Truly, so tell me.
And so then Hannah like was talking about her sleep paralysis, and then that night she had it, but it wasn't. But it wasn't in the middle of the night. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning ish. So I'm like fast asleep, in my bed, sleeping, and I hear this noise, and I hear, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm a side sleeper, and I like sleeping away from people because I don't like people breathing on me or me
Same.
breathing on them.
Same.
So Hannah's here, and my back is to her. So I opened my eyes, and I could see that it was like getting light out, and that's how I knew it like wasn't in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I like turn over. I see Hannah laying on her back like this, can't move her head. Her eyes are just shooting over at me like this. And she was screaming help under her breath, but couldn't open her mouth. That's why I was hearing, but I could tell she was like saying help. And so like my first thought is like wake her up, but then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, she is awake. Like,
right.
How do you wake someone up
Move her
who's
body.
awake, you know?
Yeah.
So I tried that. I took her arm and I tried shaking her. Physically stiff. Like, it's not that when you experience it, you just feel stiff. You are physically stiff. Her whole body was stiff as a board when I tried to move her. And I see her, she's looking at me out of the corner of her eye, looking at something in the corner of the room. And I can't see it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so, like, the only thing I could think of to do was, and it wasn't like I was doing this, like, oh, this is going to break her trance. I was just like, there's something in the corner of the room that's scaring her. So maybe if I just block her from seeing it, it won't be so scary. So I literally pulled the covers up and I broke her line of sight to whatever the thing was that she saw in the room. And that's what, like, brought her out of it.
Jolted her.
Yeah.
Change of scenery.
Yeah. Because, like, when you're in sleep paralysis, you can't physically close your eyes. So you can't, like, close and then, like, get rid of it. So I had to, like, lift the blanket up to, like, physically block her line of sight. And, like, that's what did it. It was crazy, dude.
Oh, my God. Mine, it makes sense, though, the change of scenery. The light.
Yeah. The light.
When I turned the light on.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, my whole body went.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had to get my arm. Like, for some reason, I was able to get my arm to do it. But, like, once the light came on, I was up.
Which is just, like, another thing. It's like, what is it happening in your brain that puts you in this state?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, one little thing like that,
Jolt you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could feel it breathing on me. I could hear it. I could, all those things. So I can't just look and say, no, I was dreaming it.
Yeah.
Well,
and even, like, watching someone experience it, like, I didn't see what she saw in the room, but also I'm not one to say, like, I know people can see things.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone can always see the same things. Like, I'm also, like, not the type of person that's going to be like, oh, well, I didn't see it. So, like, there wasn't anything there. Like, maybe she did see something that I couldn't see. Like,
and to you're looking at her and you're like, I can tell she sees something.
And I could tell she's so fucking scared.
Right.
And I can, like, physically feel her body's response to it. Because it's also, too, like, when you're experiencing it yourself, your brain isn't letting you move the things in your body, which could then trick your brain into thinking you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
But it's not just that your brain thinks you're paralyzed. Like, you are actually physically paralyzed.
Yes. And can't move, so you don't even get to react physically. You can only react mentally. You can't even really react verbally. Like, you get like that, like you said, that like,
Well, and then that's what confuses me about the theory of, like, oh, you're in REM sleep and you just woke up. Because, like, I'm sorry, I toss and turn all night. Like, me being in REM sleep does not paralyze my body.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe in that theory. I'm not even going to lie. I don't believe in that theory at all. Just because if that were the case, there would be so many nights I wake up. You know what I mean? There would be so many nights.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't change position.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Because it's like, I'm sorry, but, like, I might not always, like, wake up in the middle of the night feeling paralyzed, but, like, I wake up enough in the middle of the night, like, I literally have to be medicated to have a good night's sleep. Like, I wake up enough and, like, I can move my body just fine.
Right.
I've been woken up from a dead sleep because one of the cats is freaking parkouring,
Oh my God, that would fuck me up. I can't.
But it's like my brain isn't like, wait, we're still sleeping, we're paralyzed now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope no one has to experience it. Like, I really wish no one had to experience it, because I know, like, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Like, it's bad.
It looked scary, and then I felt scared just witnessing it.
Right. Like, if you're watching and you've ever had a paralysis, like sleep paralysis experience, like, please tell us in the comments or like reach out to us, because
and send us your stories.
Yes, for sure. But like, how scary it is. If you've experienced it, it is like, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It is bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And I can't believe Hannah's experienced it. Like,
like a few times.
And I'm sure she's like, bad.
There's been like a few times where she's like told me she experienced it, but like I didn't necessarily like wake up. But that's like the only time I've like seen her experience it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like dealt with sleep paralysis off and on for years. But yeah, that's all the little bit of info I got on sleep paralysis.
Do you know anybody besides Hannah who's had sleep paralysis?
I'm pretty sure my friend Dawn has had sleep paralysis. Dawn, can you confirm in the comments? Because I know you're going to watch this because you're a real one.
Ooh, shout out Dawn. I think I have a few friends that have experienced it. Like, I've met other people, like, that have said, like, oh, yeah, I've had sleep paralysis. My special treats tonight are going to be communion crackers.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to be
the little, like, red juice.
I'm going to eat a whole bag of the body of Christ.
Juice or real wine?
Yeah. Real wine.
Both.
Because
that juice is good.
Yeah, I will eat a whole bag.
I used to, like, take those little things in church and the little juices when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's grape juice.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd take them back.
Right. Just doing shots in church.
That's where I learned how to do shots.
They said, blood of Christ. She said, yes.
I said, bet.
She said, bet, bro. Oh, my God. Yeah. That's me tonight, literally.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so anxious.
Oh, I'll check in with you.
Thanks.
I'll text you at 3:33 in the morning.
I'll kill you. If I wake up at 3:33, we should do a whole segment on horror movies.
Okay.
Because I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and there's like stories of like hauntings related to movies, like Poltergeist,
The Conjuring,
even American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Hotel.
Yeah. Well, no, just like when they were shooting stuff.
Oh, like on movie
paranormal
sets.
Things that like happened while shooting these.
Oh my God, The
movies.
Omen.
Yeah.
The one that was about the Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun one. Okay, okay, we're done. We're done. Oh my God. Well, this was scary. I really hope no one watching has sleep paralysis. I really hope you don't. I really hope I don't.
I mean, I've never done it, so
Good.
I don't know what I'm missing out on.
It's okay. You're not missing anything.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fine with that. That's like, it's kind of like jumping out of a plane. I'm okay with never doing that. I'm also okay with never having sleep paralysis.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Me too. Don't want it. Don't care. Don't need it. But yeah, it was fun to talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
It's scary. It gave me the creeps, but I like it. I'm kind of into it. It's scary. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys for watching.
You.
Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And we love hearing your spooky stories, so email them to us at thelocalgayliens@outlook.com.
Yes, and until then,
stay spooky!
Bye.
Ooh, I had a new note there.
Oh, it was magical.